Michael Collins, America's caddy, joining us here on Bet. We have talked to you on Daily Wager. We've talked to you here on Bet, but now we are less than 24 hours from tee-off at Torrey Pines South Course. Let's dive in with the questions so our bettors can really hone in on how they want to address their card for the U.S. Open. Phil Mickelson, you may call the caddy 200-1 pre-tournament odds before the PGA Championship at Kiowa in South Carolina. Of course, he goes win. Someone out there cashing big-time tickets. Mickelson now his odds for the U.S. Open pre-tournament 50-1. Keep in mind he's never won. Some runner-up. Do you like that bet? The odds have shrunk tremendously, but do you like 50-1 for Mickelson, specifically where he's at?
I'm not gonna lie. I bet Phil Mickelson with my heart and not with my head this week. and I understand with my gambling hat on, if I'm using my head, Phil Mickelson, no chance whatsoever. But we're talking about my heart, and when it comes to Phil Mickelson, listen, he was supposed to do the redesign on the North Course and kind of got forced out. So he has a bad taste in his mouth about this place. He isn't a big fan of Reese Jones, who was designer on that course on the South where they're going to play the U.S. Open. But I'm going to tell you this, because they haven't had any fans allowed here last week or this week, he's been able to prepare in quiet meditation-like style, which is what he was doing for the PGA Championship. So don't be surprised, even at 50-1, karma says the stars line up just a little bit. Phil Mickelson is going to win that one U.S. Open to complete the career Grand Slam. For him to do it here at home in San Diego, oh.
Boy, that would be some story. Not only what he did at Kiowa with the P, then to go back-to-back and finally get that U.S. Open, it would be remarkable. All right, I mentioned 200-1 odds, long shot before the PGA. Is there any golfer sitting at odds that outrageous, that long for this particular U.S. Open? You see Zach Johnson, Molinari, Stenson, Kisner, Keimer, some big names sitting at 200-1 or longer. Any of these golfers worth a bet? Would any even finish top 10?
Maybe Kisner would be the guy, but other than that, the form that those guys are in is really difficult to go, oh yeah, that guy looks like he's really trending in the right direction. But Kisner is one of those guys who I think his short game around this place might just be okay enough to throw a little something on to maybe get that top 10. But other than that,
Two guys that are in good form and trending in the right direction going into this tournament, Xander Schauffele and Tony Finau. I just kind of have this feeling, and it's an observation that I have, that despite both of them kind of having similar careers and similar runs in majors, both have finished in the top 10 in half of their majors, both have had close calls. I almost get a sense like there's almost this little bit of vin towards Finau, like he's choked away a couple of majors where Xander's come so close and he's kind of giving more of a free pass. Do you kind of agree with that? And which of the two do you prefer this week down there at Torrey?
Well, I definitely don't agree with that. I mean, the guys out here understand how difficult it is to win a major. So Tony Finau's record in majors over the past couple of years has been phenomenal, finishing inside the top 10 most every time he tees it up in a major for the past couple of years. Xander Schauffele is a guy who I love, and I love him but I don't love him this week. Why? Because this is a home game. And unlike in every other sport, the hardest thing to do when you have a home game is win at home in golf. Why? Because now people come out. You got cousins that you've never seen at a 4th of July barbecue or Thanksgiving in 15 years. And now they're like, hey, remember me? Want to get some of them tickets? I would love to come out and watch. So the pressure of trying to win at home, I think, is harder being Xander Schauffele than Tony Finau, for this is not a home game for him. Also, as firm and fast as this golf course is going to play, Tony Finau's not necessarily going to have to hit a whole bunch of drivers, but because the rough is a little bit patchy in places, if he is aggressive, it might just pay off. So I like Tony Finau to finish higher than Xander this week.
All right, Caddy, let's compare two other golfers on tour that don't really like each other that much. The drama is juicy between Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau. There was a little rumor that the USGA had contacted DeChambeau's reps about being paired with another person in a group with Brooks, and he declined. Regardless, both 18-1, kind of some considerable favorites for this event. Which one do you think finishes better this weekend?
Man, that's so tough, man, because these guys both play a game that will do well around this golf course. It wouldn't surprise me if they finish tied, both of them inside the top 10, maybe even both of them for a top 5. Of course, the dream scenario is for the two of them to get paired together either on Sunday or Saturday or Sunday. If they were in the second to last group on Sunday with a chance to win, oh my gosh, talk about drama. But if I have to choose a guy who I think is going to do a little bit better, I'm going to lean towards Brooks, because even though Bryson says it's fun, it's hilarious, and he plays along with the people that are yelling Brooksy when he's out on the course, to be honest, it's pretty annoying for him. But I will say this, Brooks's fans are out here yelling at Bryson. Bryson's fans are sitting at home in the basement hacking into Brooks's financial accounts. So Bryson's probably going to have the last laugh.
Well, I'm going to ask you the obvious question now. I have a feeling we have not heard the name, though, of who you ultimately are going to pick to win Torrey Pines.
You know, like I said, on ESPN.com, I picked to win, but I know that was picking with my heart, not with my head. And if there's one guy who a whole bunch of money on to win this week, it's going to be Jon Rahm. Jon Rahm is in headspace right now, but that headspace also means he's going to be Thursday with a little chip on his shoulder. Why? Because he didn't get to finish the job at the moment. So as great as he feels, and as much as he's put life into perspective, when it comes to not being able to finish that 6-shot leadoff at Memorial, Jon Rahm winning his first major championship is easy to put a couple of dollars on. You see, when that happens, the floodgates open.
That would be awesome for Jon Rahm to get his first. He is the favorite, our favorite the caddy, Michael Collins, joining us live from Torrey Pines. Caddy, we appreciate the time.
Appreciate you having me. Thanks.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.